So, hello everyone. We have Pramod today with us, and he has really great knowledge in software testing, especially in automation. Pramod, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So, hey Sapna, thanks for bringing me. And first of all, I just want to tell you that, when I was just Googling around some of the videos and I saw first video where you have shared about couple of tips on QA, who's basically want to go to abroad, right? So that's how I got to know about you. And I quickly jumped to LinkedIn and connected with you at the time, right? So I remember that. Yeah. So about me, I've been to industry for around 9 years now. Started as a manual tester. After that, moved to automation, worked on automation framework. Many times I worked on, for a few years, I was a part of a mobile testing team. Then I was a part of web, I was even part of a performance team for some time. I was I have done automation from scratch for many companies or many projects, you can say. In 2015, I have started one blog, basically scrolltest.com, where I was just putting everything which I was learning. I thought, why not share the things so that if someone is interested, they can see, because I was working and learning about the APM Python at the time, and there was very less number of resources in 2015 that I have seen. So that's how I have started that blog. And that blog, I thought, okay, YouTube is coming, so let's do one thing, let's convert them into videos. And that's how Testing Academy was born, where I was creating, I think I have now 350 plus videos, where plus almost 38,000 subscribers, where I have started doing it. And that's kind of it. Worked on very end-to-end knowledge kind of on the different frameworks. Thanks a lot for welcoming me. Sapna.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
That's really great to hear. You are multi-talented person. You work and you have YouTube channel, and I see you have, like you said, you were manual tester before, and now you are full-fledged automation tester. You have been, you have created multiple frameworks for the organization from the scratch, which is amazing. So following up with this, my first question is that how difficult it is for a person who is from a manual testing background and want to move to automation. So what are the steps that person should take?
I have discussed this multiple times on my YouTube channel also. I'm just giving you the high level for how you can do it. Of course, if anyone want to switch from manual to automation, right? So first of all, what you need is the first thing is mindset. Do you really want to switch to automation? Because in automation, where testing, even if you are becoming SDET or automation engineer in any company, right? Trust me, you will be doing coding at the time. And couple of students who are basically directly say to me that I hate coding. So I directly say to them, please don't jump to automation now, because eventually you will be doing coding, right? In the end. So have your mindset ready. Do you really enjoy doing automation? I'll tell you how I have started it. So when I started it, right, I was doing manual stuff, and there was a couple of things that I have noticed during my hours, right? There was tasks which were basically to convert something. It's a very high level, just I'm giving you. And I know that, okay, this task can be done in 4 or 5 hours, which I was doing in 4 or 5 hours manually, can be done in 15 minute script. A simple Python script can do it. I was working in MNC at that time. So that's how I started. What I did is basically I presented a solution to the team that, okay, this is an Excel micro that I have created, and that can do the same task that we are doing, writing some of the test cases and other things using Python script. And I think in MNCs, they just praise you for it. And that's how automation was. Then I got to know that, okay, yes, I can do automation at the time, right? And I was not good with programming, trust me, at the time. So after that, I started doing automation, learning about automation. I basically means I have done weekend projects, but weekend projects are basically, I was learning about, I have started taking classes on Java related things. because I was learning and I was doing automation projects on weekend. So that's how I have started it. So anyone who want to switch to manual to automation, I was giving them like 5 pointers or 6 pointers most of the time. The first one is basically change your mindset. Mindset basically means have a mindset, okay, you will be doing automation at the time and you will be doing coding. That's the mindset, and definitely you can do it. Second point is, of course, you have to learn coding, right? So daily practice, till now I do it. I mean, sometimes 10 minutes I just take some of the programs and just to revise myself, right? That's what I do. Third thing is you need to know the tools. Of course, what are the tools right now? You need to focus on mobile. If you right now, suppose I have started with web automation. I was into web automation most of the time. I really love to do that. I was part of mobile team also at the time, but I think you can manage accordingly. But my point is, if you are jumping to web automation, right, you need to know the tools which are right now hot, right? So Selenium, of course, most of the people know. Cypress, new front-end UI tools which are coming, right? So you need to test them, you need to try them, right? Even if your organization is not helping you to do that, you need to try them on weekends whenever you are free on Saturday, Sunday, right? You can give it a try for like 2-3 hours. You learn from YouTube, take Udemy courses. I mean, it doesn't matter. Don't basically stuck that okay, I can't do it, right? Try it something and then fail, then say that okay, I am just failing at this, right? So that's how the mindset also works, right? So that's how I started. And yeah, after that moved still learning programming. I mean, I would say I'm a still learner, because couple of design patterns still I don't know, which I am learning from my colleagues or other things, right? So yeah, those things you will be improving, of course. Even if you are, I have created like multiple frameworks from scratch, but couple of times people introduce me a new pattern or these things. Okay, there's a screen pair pattern which is coming. Okay, wow, so let's learn it around, right? So those things you have to be keep on learning, right? And coding practice is very, very important. Know the tools, mindset, networking, all these things, these pointers will help you to jump from manual to automation, right? Trust me, when I wanted to switch to automation job, they will ask you this question related to it, because you were a part of manual testing previously, how you will contribute, right? So you need to show them, right, how you can do it. For first or 2 times you will face these challenges, and after that it will work. Yeah, that's kind of idea.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you have to put effort from yourself, and you will surely see the results. Following up this question only, that what are the tools and technology? You said already Cypress, Selenium, Appium, all these tools are there, but there are many languages also. So of course, all these tools can be done to multiple languages. So any suggestions that you would like to give?
Yeah. So my funda is very clear. What is working right now in market, you should know it. I mean, right now, if you see, people are working in mobile automation, web automation, right? If you see the state of testing reports, right, in 2020 and 21, right now, people mostly are doing web automation, and mobile automation is increasing, right? Even mobile testing is increasing. Web automation is still in the market. So, of course, what you can do is learn both, that I will say. Learn both, but if you are focusing on something, because I totally love web automation, right? Even it is not like I can't do mobile automation. It's very similar, but if you know the tools, right? So what I would suggest anyone who is basically starting out, know the tools which are basically will help you. First, you need to become a good in manual testing. That is very, very important. Don't skip the manual testing stuff, because I have seen in my team members, especially in my previous companies, where they are little laggy how to create a test case. They are basically are struggling in test case creation, bug reports, and these things, and communication, right? So you need to be sure that okay, I am decent enough in manual testing. Side by side, I will do keep learning the automation also, right? So those things you need to pay attention to it. Regarding the tools, for example, if you are starting with web automation, of course, you can learn about Cypress, new tools and other things, but focus on coding that I am continuously talking about. Focus on the design pattern. Eventually, after 4-5 years experience, you will see that design patterns will be introduced in your frameworks, and if you don't know, you will lag behind, and you will see okay, what is happening right now. Yeah. So those things, and kind of keep on improving and keep learning on this. That would I
Yeah.
say.
Any thought on language wise, like which language? At least you, when you are starting, possibly you don't know where to go. So at least for starting, which language is that you could start, and then later you can also learn more languages.
Okay. For language point of view, I would say most of the jobs that I have seen. So this is with data that I'm saying. I have seen Selenium and Java, right? Mostly, if you see Java related jobs are more. So that's what my data point is coming on, right? If you are applying on any other country or any, for example, if you are applying Bangalore or any other Indian market or any outside market, search about it and do a quick research which kind of framework these guys are using. Especially what I will do is that, okay, suppose I want to apply to a XYZ company. I have a list of company which I can generally apply, and I have basically created certain data points where I have seen Java is the most one people generally are using. So if start with Java, I think that's the easiest answer. But definitely, because I have worked on JavaScript also, Python also. I have started with Python APM. After that, I have worked on JavaScript frameworks. After that, I have worked on Java. I mean, that's if you see like in the like 10 years, I was just keep on switching the programming language. So don't stick to programming language. That's what I also say. Have your basics ready. Conditional statements and other things are pretty much straight. But if you are a fresher, you can start with Java or Python or JavaScript. It's your choice where you are applying. And again, at least have a good depth in Java. I would say that this is the one thing that I would say. Start with Java. If you are comfortable in Java, Python and JavaScript also, go ahead. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's really great. So people should know at least basic of automation and at least pick one language, mostly Java, and start learning. There are many tutorials, and many tutorials for beginners are available in YouTube itself. You don't have to even spend money to learn. And people should just follow Pramod's channel only. He has mentioned, many technologies there. So the material is already there. Pramod, I want to ask this question that the newcomers, beginners who recently starts their job in automation field, and they are not very confident enough, but they know the automation. So what kind of mindset they should keep during their work period and when they are working in the organization, because they are quite scary. They know the pressure is there. They are not full-fledged 100% with the automation skill, but they know the basic. They are doing their stuff. So how should they cope up with this situation?
Right. So again, if you are a fresher or even if you have like 1 to 3 years experience, right, you will see a couple of different things whenever you join any organization, right? They have a different set of automation already created, or it's your responsibility to start from scratch. There are two cases mostly, right? So I would suggest if it is already created, then definitely learn about it. What are the different patterns, how they have structured their code, right? Keep on learning it. Learning basically means try to run it, right? Take help from others. So this is very important. But how I have done is, I was to be honest, very frankly, I will just pick a couple of guys who are very good at it, and I'll just stick with them. I'll just ask every possible question from them. Like, for example, why you have done this, how you are implementing, what are the features that you are adding in this automation framework, or even how you are testing manual testing. This is true for manual testing also. Pick any senior resources if there is available. If he is not available, if you are the person, take help from other persons, right? For example, on YouTube, you can ask. In comment section, people ask me like, I have this project, how can I do the testing, right? Same process. You can reach out to me or other people, right? On LinkedIn also. Right now, if you see, my LinkedIn is kind of filled with people who are basically asking the projects related question, right? Definitely, you can ask them. There's no one, no one stopping you, right? But ask right question, and if they have experience, definitely they will reply you. There's no one. I mean, what I have seen is everyone wants to help someone, right? Because that's the thing. But if you are not asking, if you're living in your silo, if you're just shutting down, if you're scary, definitely will not help. For any kind of tester, right? Ask from team, developers, stakeholders, everyone. put the questions ready. Silly question, don't worry about it. Stick with a couple of person and have your mentors. I mean, this is really, really important. Have your mentors ready who can help you in the project also, as well as in career related things also. Yeah.
Right. This is amazing. Yeah, right. Pramod, I have this really frequently asked question for you. That there are people, let's talk about other countries, they have pursued their career in some other field, and now they want to come into the testing field. Of course, the testing field is new for them. They don't know how to start. So any courses or any, basic things that they should start with, and then later they would know that how to follow the path.
Right. So especially for the people, I mean, what I have seen personally, that's I'm just talking about my personal view. I have seen people switching from waiter job to testing, normal, but they have done some bachelor, of course. Okay, so engineering background is important that I have seen. Mechanical engineering people are joining to testing after doing couple of boot camps or a couple of training, that how they have started, that I have seen. MSc, BSc people are converting to the software tester, that I have seen. Of course, BTech with any
I've
field.
Seen MBA people also switching into testing.
That you can do, but of course, it will basically your struggle will be high. That I am keep telling these people that your struggle will be high on this, because there is a trend or a benchmark. Any engineer, after they can definitely join, for example, computer science related engineer can jump to easily to software testing field. This is like a benchmark kind of thing. If you are diverting the path, basically you're coming on a different path, you will face challenges, right? Yeah. So my experience, I would say, to be honest, I have seen people jumping to the software testing. How they can do it is depending upon, right now you can join couple of institutes are there, right, which will basically provide you kind of a training for 6 months or 4 months or anything related to it, and after that you can basically try to apply. Now what will happen is that when you apply, they will ask about your previous experience, which definitely you will not have, but you need to be very good at convincing them, or if they see your potential, they will definitely give you a chance. Especially in Bangalore startup that I have seen, a couple of folks who have joined in our startup when I was working in startup, right? They didn't have any kind of a background in testing. They were good at it. They were just able to grab the information, and they were able to test it, right? And when they have joined, they were learning about the manual testing from scratch at the time. And that's how they have also done it. So in startup, when they had around like 1.6 year experience, now it's very easy for next company and their next company to jump in, right? So yes, I have seen this, especially in Bangalore. I have been like startups extra will be easy, but in MNCs and product-based company, you will find it very difficult, because it is very difficult to convince HR, because if you don't have any background, but it can be done. I have seen it. People are doing it. So,
any certification that you would suggest that people could do for boosting their confidence?
ISTQB Foundation, I think you can do it. I mean, it's still in debate. Other people are saying it's not helpful. Someone will say helpful. I would say take it, right? That's it. It will at least help you. If it is not helping anything, it will help you that, okay, you have done something. But trust me, I'll tell you like one example. In my previous organization, like I have noticed like 3 times when I was a part of with HR, right? They are screening based on the certification, what certification you are doing.
Oh, right.
So if you have done ISTQB, pick, selected, and next round.
Yeah, that's a plus.
Yeah. So even I have seen a couple of videos where ISTQB is not mandatory, it's waste, but I agree with this. It's a waste, but at least it's give you a very slight chances. If equal people are coming, just a single point, ISTQB, HR they don't understand your skill level, but they will give you an opportunity to at least get to the next interview. Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I have noticed. That's what I'm saying.
That's
Have
really,
at least IIST
yeah.
degree foundation. Yeah.
That's really helpful. One point I would also like to add here, that even if you are looking jobs in Germany, having ISTQB certification is
Yeah.
mandatory, but it will be mentioned in all the job description that if you
Mhm.
have done ISTQB, it's plus. So
Yeah.
having certification is always, will give you some advantage. Of course, if you have number of experience, that is of course always there, but it will help you for job selection. So that is
Yes.
there. Yeah.
Mhm.
And yes, so this is it, Pramod. I have answer. I've got all the answer from you, and hopefully all these answers will help my subscribers. I'm really glad that you made it, and I'm really happy for this call now. Would you like to say anything?
No, thanks a lot for inviting me, and definitely we'll have more sessions. If you have any other doubts related to it, we'll have discussion around it, right? Yeah, I hope I was helpful. A couple of at least couple of things or a couple of answers, you will see some of the things. If I'm helpful, let me know in the comments also. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
All right.
Please, all the questions and all the doubts, please let it come in the comment box, and we are there for help. I'm really happy all of you who are watching this video, and please subscribe my channel, like my videos, share them to your friends and family. Please help me for growing my channel. I really need your help. So yeah, and I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, bye bye. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.